You can feel it in the air. You know, fall is on its way, and in today's Style File, we are helping you transition your wardrobe to fit the cooler season. So stylist Reachel Bagley with Cardigan Empire is here, and she says this autumn we're seeing some fresh twists on classic patterns. She and I were just talking about the 90s, the early 2000s. We've been seeing those vibes.
Oh, absolutely.
Where in the past it used to be kind of a twist on something old, but now they're just
literal
interpretations.
Exact
the same thing. So are we going to see that again as we go into fall?
Oh yeah, I think you're absolutely going to see those things, but as a more mature consumer myself, I actually prefer doing my own kind of twists on things because I can't wear exactly what I wore as a teenager, right?
Well, we always heard that if you did it the first time, you shouldn't be doing it the second time. Do we agree?
Yeah, I feel that way, absolutely. And I think as long as you are able to make it your own and make it feel age appropriate, then you can still rock those same trends.
Okay, well, this is why we have you. So you can help us make it appropriate for our age. We're seeing like our daughters do one thing and then we're just doing a little different twist.
Yeah, we can do a different twist.
Okay,
for sure.
you said there's 3 big things coming back. We're going to start with polka dots.
Yes.
Polka dots.
So polka dots, these never really go into hibernation, right? They're always somewhat around, but I think we kind of overdid it maybe in, you know, the mid-2000s, around 2010. So maybe you want to do something a little bit different. We saw them all over on the runway, but what you'll notice here is they've done something a little bit unexpected with it, whether it's oversized or they're irregular or you're going head to toe. It's taking that up a notch and making it a little bolder, a little stronger, rather than just, you know, your pin dot.
Yeah,
blouse.
not quite as uniform. And let me just tell you, talking about blasts from the past, the United Colors of Benetton. Are they back?
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't know. I loved them in high school. Okay, so I love that, and I love the Chanel, all the different patterns of polka dots we're seeing. So it's not the boring polka dot. We're doing something a little
No, we're
different.
taking it up another level, and a lot of it's going to stay that same graphic. It's very much, you know, the black and the white, the classic, but they've twisted it with the irregularity of the pattern or the size of the pattern or even distressing of the dots. There's all kinds of different little things that they might do.
Yeah, and these polka dots are all the same size, but they're just spaced a little differently.
Yeah, they're spaced differently, so it feels a little bit more unexpected, makes it a little more fun.
And I do think sometimes people have a hard time knowing what to pair with a polka dot. You still have a little design on this sweater.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you want to, just wear polka dots from head to toe. You're gonna be seriously on trend. You can even flip the pattern where, you know, maybe on the top you do a white with a black polka dot. That can feel really chic. But I love doing a little pop of color with it. Keeping it, you have a basic black and white pattern, so it's just 2 colors, so you can really kind of play around with the rest of it.
Yeah, these pants could go with anything.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
Fun. Okay, the second one is florals. Now I think often think of that for
spring and summer, right?
But when we're listing, again, some designer examples here where they're shifting it into fall.
Yeah, so a lot of what we're doing is we're making it a lot moodier. We're using dark backgrounds, whereas spring and summer, you're gonna have a lot of light backgrounds, a lot of white, and that kind of pop. Now we're going to take it a little more macabre. It's going to be a little more mysterious. So whether that's a black background or using those rich autumnal hues like the reds, the oranges, but it's definitely going down into the darker shades. And a lot of times they're mixing it with the paisleys, and it just feels like a little old cottage, you know, like very mysterious castle kind of thing, rather than, you know, your springtime bouquet.
And you're wearing a perfect example of
yes,
it today.
yes, I have my Moody Florals. I came prepared.
And so again, just pairing this with things, you have it with the pleather or leather.
I love it with the pleather, and I love when we mix kind of that plant-based color with our bright florals. I think it really makes it feel grounded, but still feels, you know, very cohesive.
Yeah, anything
really
else
easy
we
blend.
can pair with a floral? Are we staying away from any other pattern? What do you suggest?
With something this complicated, I would probably stay away from another pattern. I'd play more with texture. We're doing a little bit of shine here with the leather. I'd probably keep it pretty simple other than that, just because we already have a lot going on here. You could even do it plain black and it'd still be an interesting outfit.
Yeah, it would be classy, I think. Are you seeing these patterns, talking about polka dots and florals, in other things besides clothing? Are you seeing them a lot in accessories as well?
Oh yeah, you can see it in accessories, but you'll also notice it in home decor is probably the place I've seen it the most. A lot of times those mirror each other, and so what you might be putting on your couch, you might be also putting on your top too. So
okay, we might as well match our homes, right? Okay, the last one I think is a little tricky when it comes to fall and cooler temperatures. We're talking about sheer fabric.
Yeah, we have a lot of mesh out there, a lot of bodycon fitting things. And so when you think about the meshes, what I recommend is really looking at layering options. So a lot lot of these things, you know, they're on a runway in a controlled temperature environment, right? And so what I like to think about when I'm doing sheer fabrics in the fall is how can I layer this with maybe some of my spring or summer pieces, whether that's underneath a strappy dress or, you know, on like adding a little texture, a layer over something. It really makes a difference in being able to embrace kind of that edginess without freezing to death, right?
I have to be honest, when I look at these examples and even the ones with the florals, I'm thinking like Wednesday. You know, it's very like moody teenager.
Absolutely. We have a lot of moody teenager, and, you know, popular culture definitely influences our fashion houses and what's going to be coming down from them. And so whether, like, I love this, you know, even doing just like a mesh turtleneck underneath a blazer or something like that, where you take something that could be way out there, but you find a classic interpretation for yourself.
And this is just an entire dress.
Yeah, this is an entire dress, and it's already lined. It comes, you know, ready to go for you. But it is that same mesh fabric, and you get a lot of abstract patterns. You're getting some of those moody florals here on the mesh as well, but you can also do laces. It's a really fun way to play with that texture, and kind of, it gives it that Wednesday edge, you know, sort of thing without, you know, going totally out of your element.
Let's talk about just the changing of the seasons. Are you someone, I don't know if this just comes down to, do you have room, but do you completely switch out your closets depending on the season? I know some people who are like, they put it all in bins, you know, all their summer, and they get out the winter. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I have a couple of pieces that switch back and forth because we do have distinct seasons here. I used to live in Arizona, and back then it was just like, it's just kind of all of the same, right? But now that I live somewhere that has distinct winter and distinct summer, I definitely take out about a quarter of my closet, but I only do it twice a year. Usually, you know, getting through spring or getting through fall, I'll put my winter stuff up when I put my fall stuff up, and then, you know, I have all my summer stuff up in spring. And just make sure that when you're storing it, you're, you know, taking care of your sweaters, you're making sure you're putting them somewhere that they're going to have the correct ventilation and they're going to be protected, because nothing's worse than like opening it up and it's like been eaten by moths or it's mildewy. So just be careful about that sort of thing.
Okay, lastly, anything we absolutely shouldn't be carrying over from summer?
You know, I tend to avoid anything, like it's more about fabrics than a lot of the colors or the patterns and things like that. So if it's really lightweight, if it's those like cottony, springy dresses and different things like that, those are things I usually shelve for the summer. Or anything that feels very patriotic, that also gets out.
Dang, my flag sweater has to go in the...
Yeah, your flag sweater has to go in the bin.
Okay, where can people find more from you on all these and all trends?
Oh, absolutely. You can find me at cardiganempire.com or on my Instagram channel, and I'll make sure to tell you guys where all these items are from and get you taken care of.
Okay, thanks, Reachel.